Good everyone. I'm actually sorry for delay. We are trying to set the connection. I think we lost a lot of details in it. But we promise by the next class we'll work on everything and get it done. So now let's get started with graphic designing. Basically I will be taking you all through some basic things you need to know about graphic design. So now I'll share a screen of little of those we need to start with now, you get. So from there we do them accordingly, you get, periodically. It has been listed, then we touch everything, then from there we can have questions and I get to reply everyone. We'll call it a beautiful class. So now I'll be sharing my screen with you. Okay, yeah, let me start with this. Now, as you can see, we can have can all see that we have graphic design. Now, that is what exactly the class is all about. It's all about graphic designing. I know a lot will be like, oh, I want to be into this. I want you to make money. I want you to get myself equipped for my business. I can't be paying someone and just take my money, extort me. Yeah, no one is extorting you actually. You need to have a basic knowledge of whatsoever thing you want to use. So I find out these days that sellers, or should I just say those that actually own companies or businesses, okay, they try to bring jobs to designers and they tell you to get their job done in less than probably 5 minutes, 30 seconds, depending on the kind of job you bring. Some will say just a day, say it's a 5 hours job, just do it in 5 hours. The time is basically from their whole end, not them understanding anything about it. You just see it as, oh, graphics and small things, you get. So it's just like that, and it's not like that at all. To them it's like that, but to us it is never like that. You will see a lot of things you can actually do with it. So now this is graphic design, and we have the basic elements. We have line, we have shape, we have texture, we have space, we have size, we have value, and we have color. Now all of this that has been listed, these are basic elements, and from here we get to talk about how to use those tools. Line is a tool you can get to see on your Photoshop screen. Your shape is also there, where you have your rectangle, your square, your polygon shape. There are shapes there. We have the space, we have the size, where you size, you give your spacing, you give your size, give anything. You give anything and you go through everything. So we take a lot of classes today. We take color, I'll share a lot of screen with you. Now, talking about the lines, as you can see, we have mark connecting 2 points. Now, you can't actually have a line without having more than a point. You need to have basically 2 points or more than 2 points. So now, it has been stated here that a mark connecting 2 points, straight curved, fat, thin, squiggly, dashed pattern, depending on whatsoever you want to do. A line can be a broken line, it can be a thin line, it can be a fat line, it can be a curved line, it can be a straight line, it can be a patterned line. You get. So that's just line basically, and this is used to organize. That's the function. It's used to highlight, to connect, to outline, to create grid, chart, graph, create pattern, reading, direct readers, a lot. I'm just trying to follow everything I have on my PDF, so you can actually have basic knowledge about what we're saying. We've actually not gone deep into what the whole Photoshop is all about, because Photoshop is actually the basic software presently I'm using for this class. We have a lot of softwares. Some decides to use CorelDRAW, Some decides to use different. We have Adobe readers, like an Adobe package that has different softwares inside that has been comprised with different softwares. We have Photoshop, we have Illustrator, you can use it for design. You have Adobe XD, which you can use for UI UX. We have a lot. I can't name them, like there are much depending on. Yeah, we have Adobe Premiere Pro. Those are actually used to make videos. They used to make a lot of things. So now my screen has actually been shared to you, and you all can see that. Now let's move to the fourth page. As we have the shape. Our shape basically has height and width. Then we can have more than that. We have height, width, then everything. Depending, that's probably the 3D part. Then we have the geometric, the circles, triangles, squares, regular and structured. Then we have the blocks of graphics. We have the blocks of graphics, everything. We have the natural, the animal, plant, irregular, fluid, abstract. Those are icons where you have probably your social media and now where you need to like, you want to have an Instagram icon to be placed on whatsoever design you have. And your client decides like, I need my Instagram handle to be on that flyer you've designed. My Instagram handle to be on whatsoever you want to design. So now we have the abstract, we have the icons. So that's where the icons come in. And you can actually get softwares instead of you just downloading online. You can actually download online. I think I can recommend Flat Icon. You can, if you check Flat Icon online, you get to see different categories of icon. Even you can't even like, wow, these are icons. Then you can basically on my laptop now I use a Python. So stylized figures, graphic illustrations, okay, the texture. Now basically for me it's look or feel of the surface. Now texture is just like something you can actually feel. Now graphic design is just like you bringing people's thought into reality. So now you need to let people see things. You need to like let them relate to whatsoever you're doing. You need to like bring life into whatsoever you're doing. So that's where the texture comes in, where people see things as if it is quite different from the irregular things. So basically here we have the texture, we have give overall feel of something, provokes emotions. It's just like you relating your design to the real world. Maybe you put shadow so as to make it more beautiful and more realistic, where people can actually relate with your design. It brings more life. So I think even in the texture aspect, you can go on into the 3D design, whereby people sees more to your design. So you add richness and depth to it. That's why I said the 3D aspect. So let's go further. We have the space, distance around or between things. One thing basically kills designer: line of space. Once you jump up whatsoever you're doing or your design, there is no distinct space between them. A space that is minimized and very accurate. A space that brings about beauty into your design, then you would definitely have a problem once you tell a designer or probably people or your end user that this is what I've designed for you, and you have a jam-packed design, no space, no accuracy at all. You see from the second icon now we have a separate or unifies. Like it actually separates or brings uniformity into design. So whereby you see a distance of probably 0.5 inches from the first line, it is expected to have an 0.5 inches on your second design for the second line. Same for the third line in same design. So it should not alter each other. Once you're having 0.5 for the first space, you should also have 0.5 for the second space. unless they are not on the same. Now, you know, something like this can actually be, okay, now, let me take this as an example. Now, we have, looking at the space now, according to my PDF here, we have distance around or between things. Now, check the distance after the icon button, like the button in between. If we check basically, if you check basically, you see there are two. After the distance around or between things, you have separate or unifies or highlight to provide rest for your eye, which means there's a distance between these, a space. Let me use the word space. There's a space, a unified space. The uniformity is there. So now it has actually bring uniformity because it is what you see on the next line. The third one is actually still the same, if not that the word here was actually brought down. Had there been this word for I has actually been up, but this would have actually been on the same line space. So for something like this, you can actually have something different, but the distance between for I, like the last word on the second icon, second line rather, is also the distance between the especially white space. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to like let you relate with what I'm saying. So if you can check this video very well, according to what I'm explaining, you can relate very well. So the spaces are actually unified. There's uniformity in it. Now, moving down, we have especially white space. Now, used to add emphasis and focus, adds legibility. Like, legibility simply means your design being legible enough. You make it very, very bold, not too bold actually, something very catchy, something not too big, not too small, probably a medium size kind of design. So, and stylish, yeah, I think people love when you bring styles into it, and you can actually have your font doing that for you. So there are stylish fonts. Just go online, search for them. It's very easy. Everything has been computerized. We have a computerized world now. Search things online. Go further to like, oh, this is what I want to know. Just search stylish font and you get a lot. So now we have the white space in margins, paragraphs, spacing, line spacing, gutters, space between columns, and around text graphics. So these are a lot of things you can actually get from space. Now let me move further. We have the size, how large or something small something is. Now we all know what size is, basically like our literal sense or our literal thinking. Oh, what size is, what's the size of that thing? That thing is bigger. Oh, you can actually talk if you have more knowledge about the size. Oh, that thing is 5 inch bigger than the former one. Oh, this is 2 feet bigger. Oh, this is 3 centimeter wider. Things like that are actually size. How large or small something is. Larger items more important. Attract attention. Size attracts attention. Once it is bold, it calls attention from any distance it is. Now, it is just like you creating a billboard now. A billboard that is on an highway, an express. How do you expect someone from a car speeding at probably 150 kilometers or 200 kilometers per hour to see you, or probably, to see your design from a distance of who? You know, the car will actually like zoom off on the express, zoom. And you want your billboard, which has been placed by the side road, to call their attention and to be seen immediately within probably a time frame of 5 seconds. You get? Because you can't expect a driver to like slow down to see a design. It is not done anywhere. You get? So whatsoever you be doing on a billboard that is on an express or probably on an highway, let me use the word highway, should be bold enough. You bring legibility, something bold and attractive, whereby once they pass within 5 seconds time frame, it gets catchy to their brain, stored, seen clearly, and everything is just there. Create consistent theme, yeah, can be used to give impression of 3D distance. That's what I said earlier. So it brings sizes, brings about impression on 3D distance. And let me share some value, how light or dark an area is. Now if you can actually check the down part, we have 100, 95, 90, 85, 80, 75. They are sequentially arranged. You get, like, it's ranging from 0 to 5, a difference of 5. You get, so it's 0, 5, 10, 15, multiples of 5, 5, 5, 5, difference 5, 5, 5. So that's just it. So now we have it from 0 to 5. Ranging, the middle is just the 50. Probably we can actually call that the median. Yeah, let's use the word median here. That's the middle part of it. Separating it into different ways. You can't do one here, you can't do one here. I think that it's still kind of 50 is actually the middle part of 1 to 100. You get. So now we have a lighter part of. Now we are moving from white, which is 0. Mind you, colors have they have codes. They have codes. With time, when you use Photoshop, whenever you pick your color, you get to see the color code beneath. You don't really need to put all of those codes on your head. You are not required of that. You're not testing your knowledge on if you know color code rather. It is not a competition. But once you pick, Photoshop has been designed that once you pick a color, you automatically see the color code, which you can actually copy and paste to whosoever is designing a website. You get. So it helps a web designer. Let's say you're designing for a website and you have been employed probably as a UI UX designer. Now UI UX is actually another page, or should I say another category. Yeah, category is the best word. Another category under graphic designing. Now, if you're a UI UX designer, UI UX is just user interface, user experience. So now, basically, let me explain what UI UX is. What UI is. Now, UI is just an interface design. Basically, what you know about interface is just things we can actually see now. You expect yourself to pop up a phone. Okay, once you press your power button, the next thing you expect your phone to bring is probably the password, if you have actually set the password to it. Now, the phone has been designed like that. It brings a password. You open your password, since you know it. The next thing you expect that to bring, probably using an Android. Let's just use an Android as an example. So the next thing you expect it to bring is probably your first front page, where you have your icon bar. Once your icon app bar, once you click it, it brings or pop different apps. So that's actually an interface which has been designed by a designer, but under UI UX. You get. You can't actually use your Photoshop to design things like this. You need your XD. That's an Adobe XD. You get. So now, an Adobe XD is actually a software which has been designed to design UI UX designs. So designers are actually under that categorically use XD for their design, and it helps them a lot. It's fast, smart, and reliable, very efficient, very, very efficient. So if you use your Photoshop, you can actually get a result of same there. But I bet it to you, once you use UI UX, once you want to design UI UX design, a design on a Photoshop, if it's taking you 3 days on Adobe XD, which is actually the main software you're meant to use, I can bet if you use 3 days on an XD to design UI UX, you basically use a week or more than on Photoshop. You can actually get same result, but there will still be slight differences and time frame. And you know, people are actually demand on I need my job in the next 3 days, I need my job in the next 5 days. How do you cope? You get. So that's just it. So you need to be smart, fast, efficient, and you must be a quick thinker. You need critical thinking. So that is just what UI UX is. The expert, the UX part is just the experience. Now, there was this time WhatsApp doesn't download status or doesn't have even a status bar at all. We basically just chat, have our normal DP, profile picture, and that's all. But later on, people started, why can't Photoshop, why can't WhatsApp just have a status bar or a place where we can actually see people's status? So the step which has been taken, or the thoughts of having a status bar on WhatsApp, is an experience, because the person has actually been following the trend of that design software or that app. That after this has been done, we need to like do this. Like you think ahead. So that's where the critical thinker comes in. I can actually say the critical thinkers are actually the UX kind of people, which means they are the user experience people. You get. So now we have the UI, we have the UX. So you can actually get things like this done basically on XD, Adobe XD. A lot of softwares can actually still do that apart from Adobe XD, mind you. You can go further to search, then you will get. So that's just it. Now we talking about the value. We say how light or dark an area is. So now you can see this actually comes from looking at my PDF. It comes from 0, which is the whitest part. It is the whitish part. Now it moves further of 5 difference interval. It becomes white also, still white. You can't really differentiate between the 5 and 0. It's moving to 10, it's leaving the white, moving to grey, light grey, maybe the lightest grey. Now it leaves the 10, moves to 15. It is kind of darker than the last one. 20 becomes darker than the 15. 25 becomes darker than 20. And so on, so on, so on, so on. Then when we go to around 85, everything was dark, but not too dark. We go to 90, it was as if everything was the same. 90, 95, and 100 was having almost same color. But mind you, once you print something like this out, if you're printing with 90, you are not having a full black. But if you print with 100, you have a full black. So if I print out my banner or a flex or anything of 90, and I print another one of 100, one will be darker than the other. That's when you say, oh, this is a light dark color. And you say, oh, this is a dark color. So if there's any word like that, it could actually. So now let's go back to lead eye. We have create pattern, we have give illusion of volume or depth. Yeah, illusion, like that's why I say like just bringing life into it, like so people can actually relate very fast. Once they see this, they be like, oh, this is what this is. Like they can actually think fast once they see your design. It's not something that will be very, very complex. People start asking themselves, what is this? Do you know this? If people are asking themselves on your design, what is this? How does it look like? Oh, this one is skin. You should have a direct illustration. Once people sees it, they should say almost the same. Even if 100 people is saying this, let 90 people say the same thing. If 10 will be saying another thing, you get. So that's just it. Then arrange objects in front or behind each other. So now let me move to the next page. We have color. Yeah, this is basically the beauty of all designers. Where we have combination of red, green, blue. Yeah. Color is actually more than this. We have CMYK, we have cyan, magenta, yellow, the K, I can't really recall, but I know K is also a color. So we have basically different colors. We have RGB, where we have the red, green, blue. So these are color codes which has actually been installed on your system or your software, basically, yeah, your Photoshop. So I will still show you all of this once we get to the interface or probably to the face of the Photoshop software. Sorry. Used to, yeah, the functions of what these are used to highlight, to attract the eye. You know, I said beauty is what color is all about. Like once your color is a nice, cool, dope, everything, like anything you can actually bring to a color, it attracts the eye, it calls for attention, not a horrible color design. You can actually use a horrible color design if you know how to blend colors very well. You can have all the colors in a design and it still make a whole lot of sense. It just depends on how well you know how to arrange colors, and you have the best. But I would advise for a beginner, not even for a beginner, for a professional, majorly use 2 or more than. The more than should be around 3 colors in your design. So it means if you're using 2 colors, you're still safe. But if you're using more than 2, 3, I can still partially take that. But once I see more than 3 colors in your design, then you're on a 0 points. It becomes a masquerade kind of design. You get. So that's just it basically. Highlight, attract, signal importance. Yeah, send signals, create mood. Yeah, tie element together, organize group, provoke emotion. Yeah, once your color is very aggressive, yeah, colors are aggressive. Once it's very aggressive from a distance, I lose interest immediately. I say rubbish about it. I condemn your design, and we move to the next. That's just it. So that's just what colors is about. It brings about, it's just a fundamental of all your work. Because once your colors aren't good, even if your arrangement are the dopest, once your color is wrong, it is wrong. And mind you, white and black aren't called colors when designing. Now, if you're using white and using black, they are still zero, like you're not choosing any color at all. And if you can design well with black and white, and you design very, very well, then you're good to go. A lot of designs of black and white, and it's very, very dope. Trust me, it's very, very dope. So if you can actually do something like that too, then I can say, yeah, you're good. So now let me move to the next one. Color wheel. I think color wheel has actually been introduced to us from our primary school, which we were using whereby we bring crayon. Yeah, we bring crayon, we bring watercolor, poster colors, if I'm right, where we try to like bring our drawing book, mix colors, just to mix a lot of colors, just to make it more beautiful. So this was a color, a visual representation of colors based on their chromatic relationship. Chromatic relationship simply means like a way where it's actually be arranged, assembled, and brings uniformity. Now, if you read it clockwise, if I'm right, yeah, from your left to your right. So let's say rightwardly to the left, like right to left. You get, so that's clockwise. You could see that it's actually not really too aggressive. But if you move the other way around, clockwise, it looks somehow to me. You get, so it's a chromatic relationship. So I think primary colors, yeah, these are things we've actually known from our primary school. Primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors cannot be created by mixing others. That's primary colors. Cannot be created, mix two primaries. Now, two primaries actually make secondary. Tertiary makes a primary and a secondary to make a tertiary color. Let me come again with that. A primary color cannot be created by mixing. It is just basically a single color. A secondary color comes from a mixing of two primary colors to form a secondary color. Now, what is tertiary color? Tertiary color is a mixture of primary and secondary. It's a both combination. Primary, secondary actually forms a tertiary color. So that's just it basically, and we have red, yellow, blue, purple, a lot, magenta, cyan. So colors are there. Just check. More useful, complementary colors opposite. Complementary colors. Colors opposite, yeah. Color like opposite. Work well in contrast of each other. Analog colors like close colors. Variant on a theme. So these are just colors basically. Now, active, passive colors. Advancing hues. Hues are actually seen on the Photoshop. Yeah, I can actually say hues and saturation. When you ever actually bring more beauty to that. See, let's say you're an editor that actually use Photoshop to like edit pictures. You can actually use to like bring more color where there is no enough red. You add a bit of red. Where there is no yellow, you add a bit of yellow. Like it goes on and on. You need to like, oh, this is what I want. This is how I want to go about it. It depends on your personal thinking. And see, everything about design is just how well can you think, or what are you thinking presently that you want to put into this, and it pops up. It comes into life, and it's just like that. Wow. See, now, cool, low, saturated, dark value hues, passive, and virtually you see tints or use tints. You can actually use this as an example of tints of air, whereby some tints they are into gold, some tints they are into into pink, a lot of colors. Name them. So tints lighter than shades, highly saturated. Some colors will be visually neutral and or different. Now, color and emotion. Black, sophistication, power, mystery, formality, evil, and death. I think whenever we put on black, we believe someone is dead. Not every time. I'm not saying every time actually. But once you see a gadget whereby people actually brings black on, you automatically be like, oh, someone is dead here. So they are mourning for someone. So death, evil, formality. Yeah, it's very formal. Black is very formal. Depending on how well you use it. It has power and it is sophisticated. And great stability, security, strength of character, authority, maturity. A whole lot you can actually see here. Purple. See, just go through all of this and you get to like know more about it. I'm leaving this for a few minutes so you can actually see it through whenever you see the video. So I think that's basically what you need to know about Photoshop or graphic designing for now. We are not done. Let me show you something here. Now let's go into Photoshop. Let me just show you some things about Photoshop. They probably will continue tomorrow. Now let me show you this. I'm coming. Sorry for that. Now you could actually see this. I'll control it from the other hand. You can actually see this. It's a blank page. It's already blank here. I don't know. So now they have a file edit. I don't know if you can actually see it at the top left corner. File edit, image, layer type, select, filter, 3D, view, window, help. All of these things are being put there. I'm using Photoshop 2020, mind you. If you don't have a software of Photoshop 2020, you can get that from getintopc.com. I repeat, getintopc.com. You join everything together, no space in between any of those letters. Join them together, launch it into your browser. It comes up at the right hand corner of that website. You get to search for whatsoever you want. Photoshop 2020, you download Photoshop 2021. It's nice, but I won't lie to you, I'm not using 21 presently. I even have some of my friends that still uses 2015, 2014, depending on how well you use your Photoshop or software. Yeah, let me use the word software. So that's just it basically, and this is the interface of Photoshop. Now we have create, new, open. These are basically some of my jobs. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have some of my jobs being displayed here that I've actually done of recent. Now I'm creating a new. I can actually open. If I should open, it opens into my laptop, like my system, my PC. So open actually brings you to the last page you open, even be it shuts down a system or not, you still opens the last page you opened on that what's it called, for software rather. So now let me see. Let me see if I can actually help you bring some stuff you will need. Oh, but I think these things are coming up. I wish they are. So after we screenshot a page, let me see if I can move to the next page. A lot is here actually, where you have your sizes. I will recommend anytime you're picking your width for a little design where you don't even know your exact size, just pick 5 by 5 inches, set it to inches. We have different sizes there. If you're not seeing it, don't worry, just listen to my voice note, and you just listen to my voice, then you get to relate with it once you have your laptop and your software in front of you. So we have pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, pickers. So now I'm actually using inches and I'm setting it to 5 by 5. Height 5, width 5. Orientation is actually portrait or landscape. Artboard is there. I'm using a portrait because even if I use a landscape, my size is a square, so it changes nothing. But let's just say the width is more than the height, so it means it is longer. Let's say the width is longer and the height is still 5. Let's say the width is around 7. It becomes a landscape. Physically it's like this, it's normal. But if I should change the orientation from landscape, the landscape changes it from landscape to portrait. So where is 5 becomes 7, where is 7 becomes 5. It exchanges the angles you get. So resolution can actually be on a 300 for a clearer view. It makes sense. RGB for the color mode, 16 bits, then white background surface, and you create. So now let me see if I can have what I'm having here on that page. Oh, very good. Now I have all of this. I was trying to show you what I picked to set this, but I think that's actually not been coming up. But please just bear with me as we move on. So now the whole of this, I won't be doing much about this page. I'll just tell you some little things which I've actually explained before or earlier. Then tomorrow we continue very well. So now we have the whole of this page, and we have this. So with sorry for that. I'm coming. Sorry. Okay. Now we have the Photoshop here. Now if you can actually see this, we have a lot of tools here. Once you move your cursor or your mouse towards that direction to any of those tools here listed at the left hand side, mind you, there is an arrow here. You can actually kill this arrow here. Once you click it, it brings a straight line. Everything is on a straight line. If you expand it, it brings what is on a straight line into two lines, a row and a column. Two rows, one column, if I'm right. Something like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like it's two downwards like that. So that is how it is. Once I click it back, it brings it one, but I love it two. That's how I do my thing. So now you have this. We have move to. If you right click on it, you have artboard, which was on the interface earlier. This is a rectangular marquee tool where you have elliptical tool. We have a single row. We have single column. A lot. You have your lasso, polygon, magnetic. We have your eyedropper, 3D material eyedropper, color stamper, ruler, note 2, count 2. See, believe me, all of these things are on your interface, on your Photoshop, where you get to know about it. If you also want to type, this is typing. This is typing here. Typography. This is it. Text. Let me see if we can actually have anything. Oh, sorry for my slow system. My system is actually slowing down. But let's just get all I've said, and I promise we'll continue tomorrow. I promise. So with time, we are okay. With time, we get to do all of those things. You can see our color, we see our layers. I will explain layers and everything. You see everything. So it's just like that basically. This is the shape, 5 by 5, and you can type on it. If I want to type on it now, I can. Once I click this, I change the color to maybe black. So automatically it brings my lorem ipsum. This lorem ipsum is just a computerized, has been programmed. So if I can change, I change it to NUESA. Sorry if the spelling is not correct. Let me type NUESA. So now we have this. We have this NUESA. You can enter from here. It comes down. You can have global. You can have global. It enters from here. You can have black. See, you can have a lot. See, once it's entered and you press backspace, it clears everything automatically. But if you stop, it stops. Continue. So it's cleared. Let's call it a day from here. It's a wonderful class, I guess. If you have questions, you can actually add me up on my WhatsApp for further questions at 090 39 57 6444. I repeat, it's 090 39 57 6444. Don't mind the wallpaper there, it's black stem. I still bear that name. I'm Blacky Voice, black stem, I'm whole of me. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that. You can check that also on Instagram, my graphics page, blackyvoice.design. Blackyvoice.design. Check that on Instagram. I think my Twitter also. So I think it's just a class. It's nice having you all. Sorry for the break in transmission. Sorry for not having it live. We promise to have a better connection by tomorrow, and we have a good time together. Thank you very much and have a good day.